I'm really impressed. Now I have such big experience comparing with my first business trip to Pakistan, because I had a lot of meetings with people, different people and businessmen, and I don't know, just walking young couples who try to talk to me and try to show that Pakistan is a safety and beautiful country. And now my impression has changed, because first time I was just 3 days, and one day I worked at Texpo, textile exhibition. So I had not enough time to see attractions, to see local life, to converse with people. And my first impression about Pakistan, about Lahore, was like, oh my God, where I am. It's very noisy, it's overcrowded, and people always interrupt me and tried to make selfie with me, and I was always anxious about this because I had to work and they interrupted me. And in Russia it's not common. We don't interrupt people when they work. So I was a little bit maybe angry because of this. So my first impression was something like this. Now I see that Pakistan is completely different. Pakistan turned to be a nice, beautiful country with friendly people, with a lot of smart people. It was very pleasant, and it was very interesting for me to converse with so smart people, so interesting people. They they told me about their point of views on Pakistani future, on Pakistani-Russian relationships, and I saw that Pakistani people are not so different comparing with Russian. We all want to have good lives, to live in safety environment, in safety country, to maybe have holidays abroad, to have good work. So we are not so different, and now I understand this, because now I had an opportunity to converse with local people. Okay, from my perspective, our ministers have discussed really important issues about, for example, gas pipeline, about reconstruction of railway infrastructure, a lot of things, to set up steel mills in Karachi. So a lot of important things, a lot of fields in where our countries can conduct business. But of course, it just starts. In RBC, I've been working for 2.5 years, but also in another channels I've been working for more than 15 years, so I have quite a big experience in journalism. I I think it's a good deal. I think it's a good association which can help Pakistani businessmen to conduct business with Russia and Russian businessmen to conduct business with Pakistan. Because now nobody in Pakistan know where is Russia and which goods they can supply from Russia, or which good Russian market is desired. Yes, no. So no, of course, some relationship. We have some relationships. We have some turnover, and it have just increased during last 2 years, but it's not enough. Mainly people and even businessmen, mainly businessmen, don't know a lot of information about Russia. So I think BACP will help Russian businessmen to maybe supply goods to Pakistan, or maybe buy goods to Russia, maybe buy raw material to production. Maybe some businessmen will want to set up joint venture. Maybe in this way they can avoid high duties, yes, and supply goods with less prices. So I think BACP does good good deal. Of course, if we say about culture, they are completely different, because Russia is a big country with a lot of nationalities, and every nationality has its own culture. For example, people in Moscow and people in Chechnya or people in Tatarstan are different and have different religion, have different culture, have different lifestyle, even different education, etc. But mainly Russian people maybe more open. I don't know how to say, because in one side we are more open, in another side we are more close. For example, in our culture it's not common to talk to people just outside, because every person are always thinking about his own affairs. It's not common to interrupt people like in Pakistan, for example, for selfie. No, it's not common. We have a lot of tourists from other countries, from China, from Japan, from Europe, from Far East, and we don't ask them to make a selfie. In Pakistan it's common, but about women. Of course, women in Russia, all women in Russia work, all women in Russia drive cars, maybe motorcycle, do sports, have hobbies, and don't. Especially in Moscow, women are very independent, but maybe it's a problem too, because it's big numbers of divorces, for example. I think in Pakistan it's not common to divorce if people have married. They live together for all life, yes. In Moscow it's a huge number of divorces, and it has been increasing, and all people are obsessed with their career, with their work, with their own lifestyle, and women don't rely on men. It's from one side it's good, from another side it's not so good. So, but it's in Moscow. Moscow is a megapolis, huge megapolis, comparing with another Russia. Of course, Russia is big. We have a lot of villages, and lifestyle in villages are completely different comparing with Moscow. So Pakistan is regions of Pakistan. I don't know exactly, but I think it's differentiate from each other, but people are more think about their families, yes, about their home. Okay, about service, about service in hotels, in cafes, restaurants. It's very different, and I think it depends on quality of hotel and the quality of restaurant. Of course, in Moscow we have better service, because this field of hotels and restaurants are very competitive. There are a lot of businessmen who offer their service in these fields. So of course they need to be competitive and they increase their service. In Pakistan, yes, I saw a hotel with a real good quality, a real good service, but it's just few hotels. Yes, about restaurants, I think. Okay, it's. Maybe it's my point of view. I don't know if I'm right or not. Maybe maybe I'm wrong. But I think businessmen try to do good service, but it depends on people who work in restaurants and in cafes. A lot of times I asked, for example, not spicy meal, but these waiters say okay, and then bring me very spicy meal, and I don't understand why why we have this misunderstanding. Yes, or they don't want to change something, or they don't understand what I want, but they could, if they don't understand, they could say me about this. Yes, and I repeat, I know that my English is not perfect, their English is not perfect, but I travel a lot all over the world, and I don't have this misunderstanding just in Pakistan. And I think that it's just okay, but you will eat this meal which I prepare for you. No, and that's all. No, I'm not a person who satisfied with this meal. No, I will ask again and again. So you will prepare, you will make this food without pepper, without sauces. I don't know what they use. So it's no, and it's in all kinds of cafes, and in just fast food and street food and high quality restaurants. And even I think at street markets, if we ask, is this spicy? Yes, it's spicy. They say the truth. In restaurants, they say, no spicy, no spicy. And so I think you need, no, I mean Pakistan service, you need to increase, to work this field, yes. From the first glance, Pakistan is very filthy, so very dirty. There are a lot of rubbish on streets, and I think your government needs to do something with it. But it's just first glance, yes. When you try to understand what Pakistan is, Pakistan is a beautiful country, really beautiful, but it takes time. It takes time to realize this, and you can't see it at first day, because this first glance, yes, it could fail all these amazing things. You have a great history, you have a great culture, you have a lot of interesting, really interesting attractions, especially in Lahore. It's like it's like East fairy tale, which we just in our childhood we read books about this culture, we saw cartoons about this, and now I see I see this in Lahore. But it's very, very difficult to see it in the first glance because of this rubbish, because of this. It takes time to get used to all this, and then you can see another side. It's like a hidden gem, you know. It's like a hidden gem because even, for example, Lahore Fort. It's very interesting, but it's very dirty and it needs reconstruction. It needs to be restored, yes, in its previous glory. Yes, it needs to be restored in its previous glory, because it's really interesting fort, which you can't find in another countries. And I know that you have very interesting sites, very interesting places in mountains, and I hope my next business trip will cover this area. And you have sea in Karachi. You have you can no, your government, I mean, can try to increase touristic places. Yes, no, it takes time. It takes time. So I hope that my every next business trip to will be different in a good way. So I hope your country will change in good side.